Before we dive into your new host in residence gig, I wanted to hear about you winning a James Beard Foundation Award. That's so big. How did you react?
Honestly, I was so tired because I was coming from filming in the middle of the ocean down in the Gulf of Mexico. And so I took a plane, came home, changed my bags, got new clothes, and left the next morning for Chicago. And it was all a blur. I was so tired that I went up on stage and I burst out crying. I just burst out into tears on stage because it was surreal and it was just overwhelming. And obviously, I really wanted to win, but I didn't know if I would win because the other two shows were also really good, and it was just I think it was like a lifetime of emotion and wanting to be accepted in the food community that just kind of came out.
On that note, what is next for Taste the Nation?
Well, we're in production right now. We
That's
took the
exciting.
week off so that I could do this with Boursin, but we're still in production. We have 2 more episodes to go. We filmed 8. And then I went to LA on Sunday from Chicago and we won a Critics' Choice Award.
Yes.
We won 3 for Top Chef and 1 for Taste the Nation. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, a huge point. How does it feel to be recognized 19 seasons in for Top Chef?
It feels great. I mean, it's like a long marriage, that we have with our fans. So you always want to spice things up. You always want to keep it fresh. And I think our producers do a really good job of that. It's always going to be some constraint of time, some constraint of resources, and some constraint of, instruments you're using to cook with, right? That's basically what it is. But we try to make it creative. We try to use the local food culture in all of our challenges. And I think one of the things that helps us is that we move locations every season. And I'm very excited for this season because we're going international.
Yes, I was about to say Tom revealed at the NBC Universal upfronts that you're going overseas. Is there anything else you can tease?
I can't right now because I don't want to jinx it. There, as you can imagine, I have like 150 person entourage on that show. So we have to, make sure everything is confirmed before we spill the beans, because then if it doesn't work out, I'll feel responsible.
Totally get it. What are your thoughts on this season's winner?
I think he's great. I think Buddha was a serious and strong competitor from the get-go, and he's been consistently really great. I mean, his food was always of such a high caliber, not only in taste, but in presentation, in creativity, in appearance. He was always doing those little beet rose petals. They look like flower petals, but they're actually made of beet. And he did a lot of really interesting things. And I think more than other seasons, he really deserved to win because he was always flawless.
So tell me all about your new host in residence gig. What is it going to entail?
Well, it just, Maison Boursin is, encouraging people to entertain again. I know I haven't thrown many dinner parties in the last couple of years, and we want to remind people how easy it is to entertain. And one of the things that makes it easy to entertain, quite frankly, is having Boursin in your fridge at all times, because it's a very easy ingredient, not only to serve just with crackers and other things on your cheese board or charcuterie board, but it's also a great ingredient to use in recipes. If you go on the Maison Boursin website, you can see a few recipes that I've done. I've done an appetizer salad with roasted figs with Boursin on top of it. I did a pasta with chives and green peas and Boursin that literally comes together in 15 minutes. And it would be even faster if the water boiled faster for the pasta. Mm-hmm. It's super easy. Like the time that the pasta takes to cook, you can make the sauce. And it's with ingredients that you probably have in your fridge or kitchen already. And that's what I love about Boursin, is it's the sleeper safety ingredient in your fridge that you can just pull out if friends come over at the last minute and use.
Definitely. And I know just from personal experience, I grew up going to big box stores like Walmart where they didn't have nice cheese. So what would you say to someone sort of new to trying out different varieties and flavors?
I would say when you're trying a new cheese, try it with something that's familiar to you so you can see what the actual nuances of flavor of whatever you're trying is. one of the great things about Boursin is that it's available in most supermarkets. And it was the first fancy cheese that I tried in college, before I ever went to Europe, before I ever traveled and learned about all different kinds of cheeses. It is so familiar to us that I feel like we have to be almost reintroduced to it. And it's an easy way to gussy up your table, to throw a cocktail party. And like I have just a beautiful board here with all different kinds of things. I mean, one key to doing a nice cheese board is having a mix of savory and sweet items. And so we have the Boursin cheese and we have the crackers, but we also have these, raisin crisps. We also have dried fruits. We also have nuts, but we also have briny things, that give you some spice and heat, like the pepperoncini and the sun-dried tomatoes and the little cornichon and the huge capers. And so the caper berries are really important too. And I think, this trend of mixing savory and sweet is going to continue. And so that's a nice way to give your guests a lot of variety, again, with things that you probably have in your pantry already. And that's really what my role is as, I guess, host in residence, is to show people that it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be, fussy and take a lot of time, that you can really just do simple things and get together. Because at the end of the day, it's more about being with your family and friends rather than killing yourself to impress them.
What's your number one piece of advice for entertaining?
My number one piece of advice for entertaining is to think of a menu that has 70% of the items that you can prepare ahead. So you're just heating them up or adding a dressing or something. Your guests are there to hang out with you. They're not there to just eat this incredible meal. If they were, they'd just go out to a restaurant. So my number one piece of advice is that remember that it's about the people. No matter what you put on the table, it's really about spending time with people you love and not to sweat the small stuff. And the way to do that is by stacking the deck for yourself. Get most of it done way before, like with a quiche or something like that, a salad that you dress, anything like that, so that you're not stressed. Because if the host isn't stressed, then the guests will have a good time.
That's a really good piece of advice. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, just to go to the Boursin website where the Maison Boursin section is for more tips and tricks for entertaining.